In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the AchedAway Scraper. The AchedAway Scraper is the world's first heated muscle scraper. Now, I was excited to review this product because I've been using instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization tools for about 20 years now. And I've used multiple different products, and I've yet to use a scraping tool that incorporates heat into the treatment. It's an interesting, novel idea to add heat to the scraper to help loosen up those muscles and to make the treatment more comfortable. What we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the specs of the tool, some of the features of this tool, and then I'm going to use it and I'll compare it to my current hawk grips and Graston tools that I use and talk about the pros and cons of this tool. So an instrument-based muscle scraper was first developed by a company called Graston Technique. About 25 years ago, they came up with this technique, and they had several different tools that would help to loosen up tight muscles, break down any scar tissue, and increase the blood flow to the area. This was actually based off an old Chinese medicine technique called gua sha. A gua sha is just a piece of tool. Sometimes it'll be like horn, it'll be jade, and in Chinese medicine, they use this tool to kind of scrape away the negative qi. And what they were really doing is they were increasing the blood flow to the tissue, breaking down scar tissue, loosening up any tight muscles. Well, the Graston technique came up with a medical version of that using medical grade stainless steel, and that's what we've been using for several years. Not too long ago, the patent for the Graston technique ran out. So then what you started to see were all these other companies coming up with their own version of the Graston technique. And I've been mainly using still the Graston Technique tools and another company called the Hawk Grips for, again, the past 20 years because I've yet to find a product that's as good as that. Now, what caught my eye with this AchedAway Scraper is it incorporates heat into the treatment. So the other tools we use, there's just stainless steel, there's different edges that we use, but there's no heat incorporated into the treatment. And sometimes the cold stainless steel tools are a little bit uncomfortable for patients. And what I found is the AchedAway Scraper, because it incorporates the heat, actually makes the treatment a little bit more comfortable, and it also increases the blood flow to the area. So one of the things that these tools do is it increases the blood flow, it creates some petechiae, which is like the stage before a bruise would occur. Well, this increases the blood flow to the tissue, and so you get a faster response and a more comfortable treatment. So the AchedAway Scraper has 3 different heat settings. The first one is 104 degrees, the second one is 113 degrees, and the third setting is 122 degrees. It has an ergonomic design that allows you to hold the tool easier, and then it also has 3 different treatment edges, and I'll show you what those look like for the treatment itself. One thing I like about this tool is it charges via USB-C, so it doesn't require any proprietary cable, which is nice if you're on the go. You can always just throw this on a USB-C cable and then you're good to go. It takes about 4 hours to charge the device and has a 2-hour runtime. So what's a instrument-assisted scraping tool good for? A couple of the main conditions I use it for in my office is going to be plantar fasciitis. It's a great tool for that. You can use it on tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, Achilles tendonitis, knee pain. Those are all common regions where we'll work it. I'll also use it on the trapezius muscle, works really good up in that area, and also in the lower back. Those are the main regions I use this on. You can use it on more, but those are the common things I use it on a day-to-day basis. One thing I noticed about this product is it comes in a nice packaging system. So it's got like almost like an Apple-like box to it, and then it's got a nice carrying case. It comes in with the USB cable in it. It's actually really well put together, and then if you're on the go, it has this carrying case, so it's easy to transport as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate what the product looks like, and then I'm going to do a comparison with one of my Hawk Grips tool, and then we'll talk about any of the pros or cons of this tool, and then who I'd recommend this product for. So this is the case that the AchedAway Scraper comes in. It's nice, it's got a little handle, so if you're traveling or want to move it around the house, you can easily do that. And then it comes with instruction manual, comes with its USB-C cable, and then we have the AchedAway Scraper. So this is what it's going to look like. There's the handle or grips, so you can either use it with 2 hands or 1 hand. And obviously, if you're treating yourself, you're going to be using it with 1 hand. So with this, there's a power button here, and so what we do is we just press the button on, and then it'll beep, and then it'll show us what degrees the device is set up for. So for example, this first one is 40 degrees Celsius, which is 104. So all you gotta do is you gotta press the button again to get to the second level, and then one more for the third level there. Now, one thing I don't think you can maybe hear on the camera, but there is a little bit of vibration to the device. And actually, I think that's a good idea. I think ideally, If you had a tool that had the heat element and the vibration, you kind of get the benefit of a massage gun along with the heat in the actual tool itself. But I just noticed there's a little bit of vibration to the handle, which you do feel a little bit as you're doing the treatment, but obviously you mainly feel the actual treatment edge and the heat itself. So to shut it off, all you gotta do is hold it down and then it shuts off. There's a covered USB-C charging port. One thing you don't necessarily think about is you want that to be covered, because if you're using an emollient and you're wiping this down afterwards, you don't want anything to get into that charging port, so that's actually just a great design. With any of these scraping tools, they're either gonna have a convex or a concave surface. So a concave surface has more surface area that it's gonna come in contact with your skin. So what that means, it's not gonna go as deep. Whereas a convex surface is gonna get more pointy and it's gonna get deeper into the muscle tissue. So with this device, there's actually 3 different treatment edges. There's a concave edge, which is a broader area, and you're gonna wanna use that on a bigger area in the muscle. And then there's 2 convex edges. There's a larger convex edge, and then there's a more pointy convex edge. So if I really wanted to fine tune and get deep into a spot, I'd flip it around and hold it like this to get deep into an area. So that's kind of interesting. You know, they really thought about that. They added in the different treatment edges, where sometimes you'll just see one broad area, which is generally what I'll use on majority of my cases, but it is nice to have some of these other treatment edges if you have to get in certain spots. When comparing it to some of my other Graston and Hawk Grip tools, some of my tools have up to 5 edges, some just have 1 or 2. What I like about this is it has the 3 treatment edges, so it's very versatile. You can use it on a lot of different applications. Now, to use the AchedAway Scraper, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna apply like an emollient to the skin. So you don't wanna use a lotion, because that's gonna absorb into the skin. You wanna use a little bit of coconut oil or any kind of other emollient. You can buy these on Amazon. This is the Hawk Grips brand that I'm using, but it doesn't really matter. It just has to be an emollient that doesn't absorb into your skin, so don't use a lotion. And what that'll do is it'll allow the tool to slide over the muscle without irritating the skin. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this. So I'm gonna turn it on. We're just gonna use it at the 40 degrees Celsius level here. And I'm just gonna treat my forearm here, okay? So with this, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go up nice and slow, back and forth. And with any of these scraping techniques, you wanna work in all different directions. So you wanna work it forward and back, and then also work in this direction too. And you wanna work it there, and then you wanna go across the fibers as well. So you wanna work it in all these different angles to get deep into that area. Now, as I'm doing this, a couple things. I can feel the heat already. It feels really comfortable. And then as I'm doing it, the tool, you actually feel areas that are tight. So my forearms have a little bit of tightness in the muscles through there. And what I can feel like little ridges or bumps as I take the tool over it. And what that is are little adhesions that'll form in the muscles from repetitive stress. And what this tool or any scraping tool does is it kind of breaks that down and allows the tissue to heal up and to increase the blood flow to the area. Now, what you can see just from that little bit of usage, I already have a redness right into this area, which is good, which means the blood is flowing into that tissue, and that will help to loosen up any of the tight muscles and loosen up any adhesions. And again, what I want to do is I want to work the whole area. You don't want to be too aggressive. I'm not pressing really hard at all. I'm just using the edge to get in there and break up any of this tightness. What you want to do is you want to work it till it gets red, but you don't want it to get like bruising, okay? You can get some red spots in the area. That's called petechiae, and that's the stage before a bruise occurs. So what I would recommend is don't take it past that. A lot of times you'll see videos where people try to create a ton of bruising and a lot of petechiae, and what that does actually slows down the healing process, because you'll be sore for the next 3 to 5 days, and then you can't get another treatment in. Whereas if I take it to a light petechiae, you can get a treatment on earlier on the week and then one in the later in the week, and you actually end up getting more benefit out of it. If I want to use the other treatment edges, all I'm going to do is just rotate the tool. So if I'm using the convex edge, this larger one, I'm just going to angle it down, and say if I wanted to work the tendon where it attaches into the elbow, I'm going to use this convex surface to get deep into that area and to work it. And as I get up higher, you can feel it's going in deeper. Now, if I needed to go into a really deep area, a lot of times I use this pointy edge to work, say, on like my fascia on my hands, or get in between a lumbrical muscle, or if I'm using it on the bottom of my foot. If I want to try to get in one little tiny space, I'll use this little fine edge. And what I'm going to do is basically just gently work that into that area. Because it's more pointy, it's going to get in much deeper and it's going to feel a lot sharper. So you want to use lighter pressure with this one and it'll get in very deep. Majority of the cases, you're going to want to use the concave, larger surface, and then in certain situations, then you'll switch to the convex, larger and smaller edges. So using the AchedAway Scraper in just a short period of time, I feel like that muscle is already starting to loosen up. I'm getting some good redness. I can already start to feel the wrist flexors opening up and loosening up. So I'd say from a treatment perspective, this feels great. The actual stainless steel tool portion feels really great. There's 2 edges, so you can work it in both different directions. Like I said, it's got the 3 treatment edges. And the thing that makes this unique is it also has the heating element. And like I said, the grip is the only thing that is maybe the downside, but it's not bad. It has ridges on that, which allow your hands to grip the tool pretty easily. And like I said, you can work it and then you can just change your grip if you need to get in deeper. If you're doing this on somebody else, say you're a physical therapist or a massage therapist or a chiropractor, it does allow you to have 2 hands on it, which allows you to get more pressure into the area and to get better control of the device. And so I like that design as well. And like I said, obviously it has to have the heating element and the battery in there, which it has pretty good battery life of 2 hours. I think it'll last a long time after just 1 charge. Now, when comparing the AchedAway Scraper with my Hawk Grips tool, this one has 5 different treatment edges. So it's got that concave edge right here. It's got more of a broader convex edge, and then it has a couple pointed edges that I can work around, say, a finger or get in deeper if I need to. Now this tool also has kind of an ergonomic grip to it. It's got these little X pattern on the grip, which allows you to grip the tool. One of the other issues with some of the tools on the market is they're smooth, and it actually makes it harder to grip. When you have a mullion on your hands can tend to slip. Well, the Hawk Grips and the AchedAway Scraper have a more ergonomic grip to it, which allows your hands not to slide on the tissue here. And again, when I'm taking it over the area, I'm just comparing the actual treatment edges. It feels very similar to the AchedAway Scraper, and I feel like you're getting in just as deep as the AchedAway Scraper. In terms of comparing, it's very close to a Hawk Grips tool. Now this Hawk Grips tool is $600 and the AchedAway Scraper is $299. So not only do you get the heating element with that, you get 3 of the treatment edges, and it's about half the price as a Hawk Grips. And some of these other tools on the market, like a Hawk Grips or a Graston tool, unless you're a professional, you can't purchase them. So as a consumer, you can purchase them, or as a physical therapist, chiropractor, massage therapist, you could also purchase the AchedAway Scraper. And you compare it to some of the other tools on Amazon, and those tools will run anywhere from $50 to $150. They're nowhere near the quality that you get with the AchedAway Scraper, and then you obviously don't get the heated element, because this is the only tool that I've ever seen that actually has a heating element built into it. So who is the AchedAway Scraper for? I definitely think any professional physical therapist, chiropractor, massage therapist could use this in practice. Any other person that does any muscle work, this works great. Any athlete that is looking to increase their recovery and help loosen up tight muscles, help to break down chronic tissues, this is going to be a great tool for you. Also, if you suffer from any chronic conditions like plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, tennis elbow, this tool can work really well, and you can use this at home to help speed up recovery and fix your issue. If you have any questions about the AchedAway Scraper, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll also leave a link to the product where you can check out this product on their website.